Season's greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the horror guru, Mary He's Count Jackula, and we are going to talk about the Adult Swim Yule log, which is a sleeper horror film that Adult Swim made with the people who made Too Many Cooks.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
I say sleeper because at first you're like, oh, I'm going to watch a Yule log. But then, very quickly, it turns into a movie.
Yeah.
If you heard that I just said that it's from the people who made Too Many Cooks, you're probably sitting there going like, okay, well, is it as weird as Too Many Cooks? Without a doubt. This movie starts off with a coherent narrative and slowly devolves as it goes on into just pure insanity. And there is some logic to the insanity. Like, unlike Too Many Cooks, you have a better understanding of why certain things are happening, but it's still got that, like, so many what the fuck, what's going on moments.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want, look, there is only so coherent a story going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like you can follow, there are certain threads that you can follow all the way through.
Yeah.
But if you need this thing to all culminate in all questions answered, you're fucked.
Not
You're
entirely.
just fucked.
There's a lot of things you can put together from it, but not entirely. No.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shit that you can tell deliberately makes no sense.
Yep. And so the hard part about this vlog in particular, us talking about the movie, is pretty much about the point when things start getting truly weird, about 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Is about when the things we don't want to spoil start.
So basically, look, you're going to click on this thing, and it's just going to be a Yule log for a good, 5 minutes.
Yeah. And after that point, a narrative begins. But I don't want to tell you what goes on there, because I feel like you need to watch this movie and kind of experience it for yourself.
An amazing troll.
Yeah. Even the narrative itself, you have the initial troll of like, okay, it's a Yule log. And then, wait, are people talking? Wait, what's going on?
Is shit actually going on?
What's going on? Oh, shit, something just happened. Oh, shit, a story starting. And then, even when you get the story started, at a certain point, that starts to troll you. Like, oh, you thought this was going to make total sense? Sure, there's some logic here, but there's still, even with the logic, a question of how and why. And what brings these things all together in the first place?
Yeah, I want to know. One of the things I want to know is how many times or how they shot the first 30 minutes of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is a single static shot.
That's actually something I noticed with a lot of this movie, is that there's a lot of moments in this movie that were long takes.
Yeah, super fucking long takes. And you're just like, did you just do this one cut of the dead style for real?
I can only imagine, because there are points in which you can see okay, without spoiling too much, when everyone has walked off screen after a certain point, you're like, okay, there's a cut hidden right there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing on screen moving or whatever, so they can just slice in.
Right.
Identical footage because it's the same shot. But there are so many moments where you realize that you've been staring at these characters doing their thing for so long, and you're wait, we're 10 minutes into this
shot.
Yeah.
You know?
And I didn't see any moment where they could have hidden a cut in here. So.
Yeah, and if they did, it's expert.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the funny thing. Even though the movie starts to make less and less sense as it goes on, everything is foreshadowed.
Yes.
That's the weird part. You go back to the first 20 minutes of the movie and you go, oh shit, they set this all up.
Yep.
I don't know how and why, but it was set up.
Yeah. Yeah, everything has a payoff. It doesn't necessarily make sense.
Yeah.
But it has a payoff.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay. It's like watching a cabin in the woods horror movie slowly evolve into a Lynchian nightmare. You're just but even Lynch isn't entirely accurate. It's like Lynch by way of Tim and Eric.
Yes.
Yeah.
That aspect of Tim and Eric where you're like, wait, what just fucking happened?
Yeah. Or the Eric Andre show is another great example.
That's
of
another one. Actually, I would go with Eric Andre, actually.
Yeah.
Where you're just sort of there's a through line, but what the fuck?
Basically, it's very Adult Swim in that way.
Yes.
Because Adult Swim's known for that kind of surreal comedy. That weird combination of surreal comedy and like anti-comedy and then just absurd comedy. Like, this has all of it. This has all of it. It's also one of those movies that dares you to try to find a deeper meaning, even though there probably is some.
Yes. I was constantly reminded of people's reaction to Too Many Cooks.
Yeah.
Because...
and this is that extended.
Yeah, this is that for an hour and a half.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed this weird-ass experience. I do think it has a bit of an anticlimactic ending, but that's par for the course for a lot of the anti-comedy kind of Adult Swim stuff.
Yes.
Like, how many fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force episodes just abruptly end?
Yeah, just shake, just drops something and something explodes. You know, and then Meatwad's like, we grilling tonight.
Yeah. Sometimes without the narrative ever actually coming to a conclusion, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like how Dr. Weird only kind of has something to do with what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? It's one of those movies where the concept itself is the punchline.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how often I could watch it, but I really enjoyed it.
I think I could watch this as long as I had someone to inflict it on again.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, it is definitely one of those. Mm-hmm. It is for sure one of those.
I also think if you had a bunch of, like, inebriated friends...
oh, yeah.
I think showing this to them would blow their minds even further.
Yeah. Like, you just snuck this on during the party.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, someone put on Yule log.
And going on?
Like, what the fuck?
Like, can you imagine you're a friend and your friend's like high off their mind. They're sitting on the couch. They're watching the Yule log, and all of a sudden a plot starts happening.
Yeah, they're like, oh, and they freaking out, man.
Yeah. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, we're just going to move on to the spoilers because we can't talk about anything in this movie without spoiling it.
No, there's no detail.
Yeah.
You could look, you're not prepared.
Yeah.
You're not prepared for where this thing goes.
Yep. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, here are the spoilers. Okay.
Wow.
So, like... I don't know. I'm not going to go over the whole plot of this damn movie. The basic idea...
oh, no. Describing it will take longer than watching the movie itself.
The best thing I can give you is that ostensibly this movie is about a couple who are renting an Airbnb, like this cabin Airbnb in the middle of the fucking woods as like a vacation they're doing. And... progressively over the night, things get weirder and weirder, and more characters start popping up and making things weirder and weirder. And the whole conceit of the Yule log is that he is a guy that films Yule logs to go onto YouTube.
Yep.
So the movie starts off watching one of his videos and then slowly pulls back to reveal this narrative of this boyfriend and girlfriend. And and it goes from there. The kind of shit that you'll have in store for you beyond that point, a sentient Yule log that's apparently a combination of dead spirits that had a trauma inflicted upon them inside this cabin over the centuries is now trying to kill them. Like literally the log is
literally the log is trying to kill people.
Yeah.
You know, like
a weird demonic devil kind of entity that lives inside the log that offers people devil's bargains that always ends poorly for them, monkey's paw like requests.
Like completely does not play fair.
Completely does not. No, 100%. There's a point in which he literally gets a guy to, without realizing it, killing his own mom while she's pregnant with him.
Yeah.
So that he ceases to exist, and then the movie continues on with a new character in his place because he never existed in the first place. So that girl brought a different boyfriend to this thing.
Yeah.
And that's before the aliens show up. And they're not anal probing aliens, but they do kind of rape you in the mouth.
Yeah.
With tentacles. There's like the low-key like horror tentacle porn at certain points.
Yeah, and then there's the satanic cult.
Yeah, the satanic cult, which is really like weirdly like feels like an afterthought in the movie.
Yeah, even though it's like one of the first things that's dropped.
And that's the funny part. All this shit is weirdly set up in the earlier conversations in the movie.
Oh, be careful. People see a lot of UFOs in this area. And just when you've forgotten all about that, it fucking turns into Close Encounters.
There's a serial killer named Pleatherface and his mom that is hiding in the cabin when they get there. We actually get to see them kill the lady that owns the Airbnb when she's cleaning up the place before they get there.
Yep.
Well, we don't get to see it so much as hear it.
Yeah, we know it happened.
Yeah. You think when this movie starts, when the plot actually starts, that, oh shit, this is a movie about a serial killer inside this cabin, and this couple is in trouble from the serial killer. But then more people arrived, and then there's all this talk about aliens and cults, and then that one guy gets erased from existence when this devil's bargain scene happens. And then next thing you know, the log is killing people, literally flying around killing people. And then aliens show up and mouth rape the boyfriend.
Yeah. And then we switch realities.
Yeah.
But during this whole thing, you're also getting like flashbacks.
The slave and the slave master who had a child and then like had a falling out, and they're one of the spirits that are in the log, I guess, if you're trying to find some logic to
if
this.
you're trying to find logic into it, you could say that. You know?
There's the cross-dressing gay dude and the abusive mother.
Yeah.
And various abusive families throughout the years inside this specific cabin over different decades. And they're all in the log because the log says their words constantly, like repeats it, like it's a restless spirit or something. And then there's a point where we cross realities and like all the characters so far are like game developers or something.
Yeah, they're like video makers or something, and you're like,
they're like in an office and they're doing some shit, and you're just like, what? and let me make this clear. The little devil guy that lives inside the log pops up occasionally, tells people to come inside, and so they crawl inside the fireplace while it's on fire, and then end up in like these David Lynch fucking nightmare rooms where everything's on fire, but there's like a bar and there's like a chair, and he's eating KFC at one point.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And then he takes them to these elevators where he makes them do these awful choices that end poorly for them.
Yeah. Look, I think maybe it's time to wrap this up, because problem is there's just too many levels of this damn.
There's too many cooks.
There's too many cooks of this shit.
And just when you think the characters get away from all this, the fucking log appears in their car window and fucking kills them, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, and it's also got like the little log demon dude
like riding it. Yeah.
Like fucking Slim Pickens style.
It's fucking Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
This is a surreal horror sci-fi thing. And I dig it.
It could only have been made by Adult Swim.
It could only have been. The Too Many Cooks guys, this is them extended to an hour and a half, and I love it.
Yeah.
And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
No, you can find me on Twitter, Counting Jack, on Twitch, Count_Jackula, on Hive, Count Jackula, and on Mastodon.
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram and Facebook, and Mastodon and Hive at the Horror Guru. I will put it all on screen right here so that you can read it, and you can go to the social of your choosing. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of our videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And if you made it this far into the vlog, I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag log.